the Art of Fashion TV, where art, fashion, and music all meet in one place, right here on the Art of Fashion TV. And now, welcome your host, Glenn Donovan.
Hello, and thank you for tuning in to the Art of Fashion TV. My name's Glenn Donovan, your host. We have an amazing show tonight. We have a very exciting event happening that we're on our way to. We're on our way to a special screening of a new movie that's coming out. It's a short psychological thriller. It's called Who Are You? And we have the producer and actor with us in the studio, Kathleen Wills. How are we doing, Kathleen? Thank you for stopping by. I know it's a big night for you. You have your, it's a screening that we're on our way to right here in the neighborhood. Tell us a little bit about what we're going on.
Okay, so this is my first film, and it's a psychological thriller. Who Are You? Of course, the name you just mentioned, and I'm very excited about it. It evolved through John McMullen, who directed. He approached me with this idea, and I originally thought it was a horror film, but it's not. My son set me straight. He said, no, that's psychological thriller. So I said, okay, this is the genre that we're going to do. It's my first one ever.
Was there something that kind of guided you towards that, you know, going for something like a psychological thriller as opposed to like a comedy or drama?
Yes, and I'll tell you exactly what it is, very, very simply. The story is based on true events. So it's basically a psychological thriller because John's late aunt, Suzanne Carr, is the pretty much what the story is based on. Her presence in the apartment where we shot it was very, very felt. And so through conversations that I had with John leading up to actually doing the shooting, putting this all together, you know, I just felt very, there was a draw for me to come and really have more and more conversations with John about putting this together because it was a passion project, obviously.
Right.
But I felt that I needed to do it in like a spiritual way. I just had to do it. There was something that was drawing me over to that apartment to make this happen for him.
Right. And you two have been friends for a while now. Yeah, that's good. So this is the first time that you took on the role of producing and acting in a movie. Did you find like having all those responsibilities a little bit challenging, or was there some way that you were like kind of addressing all that?
Yes, I would say it was rewarding. It was, the only challenging part was that I couldn't like just forget about all the details, forget about all the you know, the liabilities or anything else that I had to deal with, copywriting and all that. I really needed to, you know, check all those boxes, make sure that we were doing everything that we needed to do so that the film could be, you know, put out there on social media. We didn't have any issues. But in terms of, you know, acting, I felt very comfortable doing both. Like this one was great because I was kind of, it was a lot of freedom that I had to do both. Like there wasn't anyone over my shoulder. John and I, we collaborated very well together, in my opinion. Like we worked, we just gelled. So it was like, you know, I just went in there and I was like, I'm the actor. Oh, I'm going to produce it. Okay, yes.
You know, even though you have your partner with John, who we'll bring out in a minute. But tell us a little bit how that relationship evolved, like between you and John.
So he actually interviewed me for a series that's currently on Amazon Prime, I believe, and started out on, I think it started out on Tubi, but it's on Amazon Prime. It's called Crash the System.
Yes. I remember a couple episodes. We did an interview with some of the cast members, including yourself, on that. Yeah.
Yes.
That's a great show, Crash the System. Yeah.
Yes.
Yep. So that's how you kind of first met John through that event?
Yes, that's how I met John, and from there we just, you know, just kind of talked and followed me through my next, you know, endeavors and all of that, and basically then gave me this little pitch about his idea about this film, and I said, you know what, yes, I have to do this, and we did it, and then we just slowly but surely became sort of a team in terms of doing our first film together, but before that I had no idea who he was, but through meeting him here, you know, through the interviews, we just clicked.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, so the film is based on true events, right?
Yes.
Can you share some more details, you know, about what the actual true story was and some of the processes, so we know that, how that like came about?
Sure. This was probably this is why I was so interested in doing the project in the first place, because John had mentioned to me about his aunt and how she had these special abilities at some point, and I feel that I have some type of psychic abilities myself. And again, through speaking with him on the phone, I started to get this really intense feeling that this is a film that needed to be made, first of all, and a story that needed to be told, and that his aunt was really behind it all, because he was telling me stories about where he was, in the process of handling the estate once she passed over. The apartment is on the Upper East Side here in Manhattan, and that is where we actually shot it. And so while he was, describing certain events that took place there, doors shutting, lemons moving around the rooms, I thought to myself, okay, this, I'm not a hoax person, but I was feeling again something that was unsettled. That was there, yeah. Something needed. My gut reaction was she needs to pass over. So that's why I said, okay, let me go in to the apartment. Let's feel it out. So I went into the apartment, and I immediately felt energy where, okay, this is heavy. This needs to happen. We need to shoot it here. But are we going to be able to do that? Is she going to allow us to? And the reason why it's called Who Are You is because I wasn't even sure it was her. I mean, I just felt so much heavy energy in that apartment.
Right.
So fast forward to giving you a little bit of insight in the filming process. Once we established that we were going to do this for John's late aunt, that we were going to help her be at peace. This was in her name,
right.
Her memory. We wanted to also establish that we wanted to cleanse the place.
Right.
So we did some, dragon's blood. We did a lot of cleansing before we started the process of the filming. Sage, the whole bit, candles, right. And through the course of the filming, why it's based on true events is that I can honestly say that we did stumble upon
like a supernatural presence.
There's supernatural. I would say spirits. I'm not exactly sure. At first, I thought I did not want to get involved, and then I wasn't sure which level they were. I did a lot of research to see what we were getting involved with. Mm-hmm. But at the end of the day, I came to the conclusion that most of the energy that I felt was coming from. This is very interesting. I'll just share. Mm-hmm. There was a dresser there, a chest, mm-hmm. A piece of furniture, gorgeous, very old, and it was part of the set. And every time I walked past it, I got this overwhelming feeling where I could not find my balance. I could not focus in my mind.
I had some kind of energy.
Some energy was coming out of that piece of furniture.
Right.
And then John tells me afterwards, oh, that actually came from the Jamel Mansion. Now, the Jamel Mansion is up in Washington Heights. I'm not sure if people know about it, but it's the oldest mansion in New York,
right,
on the island. And George Washington was there,
right,
resided there. Hamilton and Jamel was the woman who owned it, who stayed there, and to this day haunts it. And it's been put in, history. I mean, there's actually like a ledger that you can go and look and see, and there's been tons of seances going on up there where they can literally say that she's there and that she protects that home.
Wow.
Because she did all the decorating in that mansion, and she's just so protective of that mansion. So when I found out that piece of furniture came from that mansion,
right,
I said, that's what we're dealing with.
Yeah, that's the piece.
That's one of them.
Yeah,
we need to address.
Awesome.
And just walking, and then I lost my balance a few times. But afterwards, just to be very clear, we shot the film while John was taking care of the estate. So there was all the furniture in place. Mm-hmm. When we shot the final scene and all the furniture had been removed, when I went back to shoot that final scene,
right,
which you'll see at the end of the film, the energy in the apartment was so much lighter. And I literally felt that we did something really good. I felt good about it. And I felt that she was happy.
Right, like at peace.
Yeah, at peace with what we did. And like a release had happened.
So such an interesting story. That's awesome. And I think we do have the trailer of Who Are You that we're going to take a look at right now. All right, so let's take a look. Who are you? That was the trailer for Who Are You? A new movie, short film made by Kathleen Wills. And we have Kathleen right here with us. Thanks again for joining us. That was awesome. We can't wait to go see it in a little while. We got to, wrap things up so we can get over there soon. So, the production, it's kind of like watching some of that. I was just curious, did both you and John play a role in the production of the post-production of the film?
Yes, we did. I was right in there. John, that's what John does. That's his expertise. And of course, I'm not anything to do with technical or post-production, but John, I went over there and I wanted to watch the playbacks with him, and together he really taught me a lot, and I learned a lot, but we did work together on the post-production and came to agreement in what we wanted to produce ultimately.
Awesome.
Which is what you saw. So
yeah, that's great. Yeah, it's going to be great. And I believe John is with us tonight.
Yes, he is.
John, you want to join us for a minute? Come on over, John.
All right.
Come on, yeah. All right. John McMullen.
Good to see you again.
Good to
You
see
too as well. Yes.
All right.
So we're on our way to the screening, and so tell me a little bit about your experience with Who Are You and working with Kathleen.
Well, first of all, she's just wonderful storyteller. I found that out we had an idea what the project should feel like, what it should be about, but we didn't really have a story. And I guess it all started with the portrait of my aunt. There was a lot of people commented about that portrait, and it was painted when she was young. My aunt died when she was 96, so.
Wow, that's a good life, yeah.
Yeah, and it really set the tone for the entire apartment. It was really all about her. She was an interior decorator. A lot of people knew her as a pretty, well-known interior decorator from the Upper East Side. She had worked for Parrish Hadley, which is at the time in the 50s and 60s a very prominent design firm. Some of the projects were the Kennedy White House, Air Force One. Prior to that, she worked for Raymond Loewy, prominent designer, of the modern era. Mm-hmm. So she really had an iconic kind of reputation, and we'd sort of developed the project around that. But Kathleen, I have to give her credit because it was really her intuition, I guess you could call, her prior experience with the Jamel Mansion. I found out that she had done some projects up there, right? It was that sort of like an acting group there, and so it really just came together that way. But so
awesome.
Yeah.
So you did more of the technical side of things. I mean, was there some hurdles or some interesting technical sides to what was going on?
Yeah. We didn't have any stagehands. We did everything ourselves. Kathleen had to come in off her work schedule. I was off my work schedule as well. I was doing mostly work for the estate at the time, so we're sort of working around very limited scheduling, and finally, when we were able to actually shoot, it was sort of like chop chop. We got to get this done, Right. So, but we really, everything. It may look like we really planned everything, but in a lot of ways, I sort of had ideas in my head, like what the shot should look like, kind of what I wanted the characters to portray, and how it should look, from a technical point of view as a filmmaker. Mm-hmm. And I think that complemented what Kathleen was able to provide, because it was like I was giving her the technical direction, and she was providing the story skills, the story blocks, and the acting skills to back it up.
Right.
Yeah, which made it all come together. So,
Awesome.
Yeah.
And this was how did you film it on? Was it on?
Well, that's the interesting thing. Believe it or not, we shot the entire movie on our iPhones. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's like kind of like starting to happen these days.
I tried.
There's good production. They're great pieces of equipment. Some of them are so high end that you could do it that way. It's amazing.
Yes, I was. Yeah, I did try a couple of other different cameras, but I somehow the iPhone just made it a lot easier. We worked out of a very small space, so to have big clunky cameras and a lot of lighting gear and stuff like that can really slow you down. But the great thing about the iPhone is it has, a bionic sensor. I think it's it has a special chip in there. So even in low light, you're going to get terrific quality, looking video.
Yeah.
So we shot a lot of it in candlelight, actually.
Oh, nice.
And we did some slow motion shots, and it does pretty much everything you need.
Wow.
So,
and then just edit it at the, back at the studio, and you're good to go.
Absolutely, yes. I edited the trailer using iMovie. They have some terrific templates in there, which will carry you pretty far. Mm-hmm. I know that, so I think that's what the audience just saw on that clip was really, I did that all in iMovie with the iPhone, so there you go.
Right,
yeah.
Excellent, excellent. Well,
but I do have something here that also that helped with the movie.
Lemon?
Here you go.
Oh, there's
there you go.
A lemon, okay.
Kathleen can tell you about this.
All right, what's up with the lemon here?
As they say, if you got lemons, you got to make lemonade.
Yeah, that's
sure
good.
did.
Okay, you got 2 or 3, because if you got a third one, I'll juggle them.
It all started with the lemon, actually.
What's going on with the lemons here?
So I was a little freaked out to start the project. John's like, this place is a little freaky. And I'm like, what do you mean by freaky? And I got really in there to find out. And so we decided that if we were going to do this project, we needed to find out what we were dealing with, spirit-wise. So John, I didn't know this, but I know about cleansing, dragon's blood and sage, but John said that there's a thing that you can do. You can take lemons, you can place them all over the the rooms.
Okay.
And then when you leave them there, you don't touch them. And then when you check back like a day later, if the lemon is still in the same shape, because it doesn't really it doesn't, if it's only one day, it's going to look the same.
Right.
But if you go back the next day and there's like dark black patches all over it,
right,
that's where the energy is coming from.
The bad energy.
The dark energy.
Interesting.
Dark energy.
Right. So he placed them all around. One moved, and one had the dark spots all over it in that particular area.
Only one of them. And how many did you put out? Like a bunch of them?
At least a dozen. I brought a whole bag, and they were perfect lemons. They were like really nice.
You put a lemon out in various places, and you come back a day later, and out of the 12 lemons, one of them was almost like rotting with like mold on it.
Yeah, it was really bad.
Yes.
Like really bad after one day.
Yes.
Yep.
Wow, that's like that must be like some bad energy over there or something. I never heard of anything like that, but hey,
we have pictures.
There's a lot of unseen stuff going on, that we have no idea. I'm hearing a lot about like frequencies and how much important that is, and the unseen world that's out there. So this probably has something to do with that, I would say.
We did take pictures of the we actually we cataloged the progress of the lemons on a calendar day, or week actually, so we do have the photographic evidence to kind of back it up. So when we figured out where the bad energy was coming from, then Kathleen went in there and did the rest with her sage and her dragon's blood and cleansing, and I think we even said a few prayers.
We did. We prepared.
Yeah, if you could set your intention, and I believe that just saying not certain words, but just speaking out. I think the vibrations from your voice going out into the universe, has a lot of validation and confirmation and intention setting, and the universe, I think, responds to that very much, though.
Definitely believe in that. Yes.
Yeah.
Very well said, yes.
Excellent. Well, on that note, we have a screening to go to. So I want to thank you both for coming. Everybody, it's Who Are You? A Kathleen Wills production with John McMullen directing, Kathleen Wills acting and producing it. We'll see you there on the Art of Fashion TV. All right, please give a warm welcome to Kathleen Wills.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
Wonderful to be here.
Yeah, this is great. I mean, it's got to be very exciting, working with so much talent over here and being on the TV show and, just being involved with all that. So tell me a little bit about who you play on the show.
Sure. I play Laura. She is a stripper, a working girl. She basically is a survivor. She's been given school of hard knocks, just making her way in the world, and just really, is a little bit too gullible, and that's what happens when she meets Corey's character, Raymond / Tim.
Yeah, we do have a scene with you and Corey in it. Tell me a little bit about what's going on in the scene.
Sure. So the scene opens with myself and my friend Nancy, who's not here tonight. She plays Vanessa. Okay. And we are sitting with Corey's character, Raymond, and we're discussing a situation with him that we need his help. And it sort of gets into an area where there is an alleged
something going on,
which we're not going to say happened or not, but
Right.
it's insinuated that it did. And it's, you know, there's a little bit of legal issues involved if there's any, you know, when anyone gets caught doing these things that we allegedly got involved with.
Sure.
So we ask Corey's character for some help.
Okay,
Yeah.
excellent, excellent. So why don't we take a look at that? We're going to take a look at the scene that Kathleen was just talking about. Let's take a look right now. Crash the system.
Oh my God, Raymond, can we sit down?
Sure. Absolutely.
We love the work you do at the center. You know, with people who hit hard times and all.
Thank you. I'm no different from anybody there. Okay, we're just all lost souls looking for the light.
That's what we're trying to tell you. We both kind of had a religious experience tonight, and we need someone to talk to.
Sure, I'm all ears.
Okay. We work at this club in the city. We're strippers, just so you know.
Exotic dancers.
Look, I'm not here to judge.
We know, that's why we need to talk to you. See, we got tired of getting ripped off from our manager.
Oh, God, that is such an exploitative job where you've got to deal with the most desperate men coming in there, you know. They must have you shaking your naked bodies, you know, on the stripper pole and twerking. I can't even continue to talk about it, please. Go on.
We got ripped off by the manager, and we
killed him.
You what?
Well, Laura hit him over the head with an ashtray, and I took all the money.
He's dead.
Well, I mean, he was making sounds, so I think probably he's still alive.
He looked dead to me.
But anyway, what do we do?
Hold on. You took his money. You hit him on the head and you took his money. How much was it?
Like, 4,000.
Are you sure he was still making sounds and he was still moving?
Yeah, but what do we
hit him?
Raymond, what do we do? What do we do?
I mean, what you did was irresponsible.
Raymond, what do we do? What do we...
I mean, you're facing a whole bunch of criminal charges. You're talking about felony assault, robbery, attempted murder. Okay, you're going to jail.
No.
You guys are going to jail.
I don't want to go to jail.
No.
I don't want to go to jail.
Well, look, as luck would have it, I know a captain, okay, the local precinct right up here. He's one of our parishioners, all right? It's a long story. I could tell him your side of the story and tell him how sorry you are, you know, about what happened to the manager. You should probably give me the money so that I can give it to the police first. You got to get ahead of these things and be first.
Okay. Raymond, just take it. Yeah. Are you okay?
I'm sorry. I'm fine. Listen, look. A long time ago, I had this best friend when I was a kid. Her name was Sandy. Okay, she was my best friend. She, she became a prostitute too.
Whoa, we're not prostitutes.
No, I know, but my friend Sandy, who was my best friend in the world, she was murdered by her pimp.
Oh, Dios mío.
And I found out about it on the news. And I cried for 3 days.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, I didn't tell anybody what was going on. They did not know what was going on with me.
Sad.
I'm sorry, Raymond.
Look, we need to pray.
Yes.
Okay? We need to pray for your manager. Okay? But, Jesus, I don't have my Bible with me. You know, I left it in my apartment. I mean, it's a few blocks away. We need to ask for forgiveness. We need to ask, okay, for forgiveness. Damn it, God.
You okay?
It's okay.
Raymond?
Sorry, ladies. Listen. Look, my nerves are shot. Okay, do you think that, like, on the way we could, you know, I could stop at a liquor store or something and just get a bottle of wine or something? Something to settle my nerves. This has just been one of those days.
I think we're good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If you guys are, you know, in recovery, I totally understand. I'll abstain.
Oh, no.
I'll do it.
Maybe one. We could do one.
Yeah. Maybe we can all use a drink, huh?
We are back with Crash the System, and I have the cast members here. Kathleen, that was a great scene. I really enjoyed it. It was, you know, definitely getting that storyline kind of in place for all the next events to happen. So it was really cool. I enjoyed it. Anything else you'd like to add? What do you got going on in the future? Do you have any other things you want to just talk about and let us know?
Sure. Just very briefly, I am working currently on my first film called Italian Hospitality. It'll be my first film that I'm producing, directing, and acting in.
Excellent.
Very excited about it. It's a farce on the mob in New York City.
Okay.
So another New York City-based film. So it's going to be fun.
And the name one more time of that one?
Italian Hospitality.
Excellent. Well, we'll keep an eye out for that. All right. And hey, that's all the time we got for the Art of Fashion TV. I want to thank our guests again today from Crash the System. We got Kathleen Wills, we got Stuart Rudin, and we got Corey Duvall. Crash the System. And we'll see you next time.
Greetings to all you sheeple that live in the Meadowbrook of life. The system likes law and order because that's what they've been told to like by the system. That's what the true nature of religion is. To set these rules in a celestial tone, then have the system extend them to an earthly tone. But has anyone ever asked themselves, what would happen if the system was crashed? If we just said, we don't need you. Most would think anarchy would take over, and people will lose their life, property, and freedom. People think this way because the system made them believe this. Made them believe all humanity is evil and violent if law and order were to collapse. But this law and order was brought on by the people who want to control the world and keep the people in the dark. Peace out, brothers and sisters.